So as people know, here in North London, we're unfortunate enough to have one of the actual worst Tory privatising councils in the country, which is Barnet Council. And Barnet Alliance for Public Services have been fighting a heroic fight against the Barnet Council selling off all the public services. In a way, I think, which really sends a message to Tories around the country that, you know, don't think that you can get away with doing this without an immense fight on your hands. So I'm really pleased to announce our next speaker, Barbara Jacobson from Barnet Alliance for Public Services.
Thank you and good morning. As Elaine said, the Barnet Alliance for Public Services, which is usually known as BAPS, can't help it, is a broad coalition of residents, workers, trade unions, and campaign groups that has been working for 4 years to protect the full range of our public services and our local democracy, because these cuts hit democracy. It is already a form of a people's assembly. Barnet Council is the government's pilot for changing the nature of local authorities, from providers of public services to commissioners only. This means selling our services and selling out the residents and workers to private companies who, by definition, put profit before people. We have heard the rationalizations from MPs and local councillors, and we know it is ideological claptrap, and that's as polite as I can be. Barnet Council has a wretched record of outsourcing in single projects, in its local authority trading companies, in its contracts with private companies to run things like the residential care homes and even the parking enforcement. Now they have sold 70% of our public services to Capita for a minimum of 10 years. Jobs have been and continue to be moved out of the borough, scattered literally all over the UK, to be dealt with by people who have no connection to and no knowledge or experience of Barnet. People who will be paid less and work on poorer terms and conditions than the workers now made redundant, who will struggle to find another job in their local community. Thus, we see the new workers are exploited, and the lives of the redundant workers and their families are blighted. The local economy is damaged, the quality of services will worsen, and the council may very well not make its expected savings. But Capita will take its profit first. BAPS protested vehemently against the privatizations, all of them. We leafleted, we demonstrated, we marched, we held public meetings, we attended endless council committee meetings to ask questions and point out the flaws in the proposals. We issued press releases, we wrote to the press, and we tried largely in vain to get the national press to pay attention to what is a national issue. We produced an animated film and published a wraparound in the local free press. We raised 8,000 signatures on a petition for a referendum on the privatization, which was dismissed with utter contempt by the local Tory cabinet. We supported Maria Nash, who brought a legal challenge against Barnet Council. The judge in that case ruled that indeed Barnet Council had acted unlawfully in refusing to consult the residents about the privatization. But, oh dear and too bad, the challenge was brought out of time, a technicality that many in Barnet feel was deliberately manipulated by the Tory cabinet there. Thus we see how the unlawful is made legal and how democracy and law are diminished. BAPS will continue to scrutinize the delivery of services. It will continue to fight plans for further cuts and privatization. It will continue to fight for the rights of Barnet residents. It will campaign for the alternatives to what the council has done. And it will campaign to change the composition of that council in the elections in 2014. You're here because you're informed and you're committed. Whatever particular issue is your primary focus, one of your biggest, hardest, and most important tasks will be to inform and motivate other people. You might find it relatively easy to gather a group of activists, but you need to reach out and mobilize the masses, the uninformed, the uncommitted, the cynical, and the apathetic. It's a long-term campaign we're all waging, and while activists will always be at the heart of it, we cannot do it alone. We need to spread the word. When we leaflet, people often say to us, "Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this." We need to show them that they can do something too. Whether it is handing leaflets to their neighbors to inform them, using social media to spread the message, going to their local counselors to ask questions and make their own views known, all of these things are within their reach, and we need to motivate them to do it, to show them that change is possible. We have not won the major battle yet, but we have had some successes. We have helped to save Frere and Barnet, now Community Library. We helped to unseat a much loathed local councillor from the GLA and the Barnet cabinet. We helped turn a safe Tory seat in Brunswick Park into a Labour seat in a by-election. But there is much more to do. Barnet Council is now very aware of BAPS, and they are aware of the impact that we have. The more people in every community who do anything, who make their voices heard, the louder our collective voice will be, the stronger our campaign, and the more likely that we will have more and greater successes until we reach our ultimate goal. Now at BAPS, we try to gather new members and get activists. So I'm telling you tonight, after you've finished a full day here, come to a BAPS benefit at the Griffin and Whetstone High Road at the junction with Totteridge Lane. Here's some music. Have a good time, benefit our cause. On the 5th of November, we'll be holding a bonfire of austerity and privatization in front of Hendon Town Hall, where a full council meeting is scheduled. And on the 14th of November, we're hosting a free public meeting to discuss alternatives to the council's plans. Please come along. Hear the speakers, have your say, help build this movement. If you live or work in Barnet, anybody here live or work in Barnet, and you're not already a member of BAPS, please join us and help us defend your rights. If you have an organization in another neighboring borough, let's affiliate. When we work together, we build this People's Assembly, we make it easier to fight for our cause. Thank you very much.